Damn! Okay, guys. 99 Suzuki VL 1500. It is currently running, but it is leaking fuel out of a carb, and it's only running on one cylinder, even though the decompression cylinders have both been freed up, which would lead me to believe these carbs are in pretty rough shape. So, let's take this off. Let's get inside here, shall we? Let's get inside here and take all this apart. Are these anti-tamper? Nope, these are not anti-tamper. Let's see if I have one that'll fit in here. I believe we have 5mm and 4mm. Look at that. So, yep, that was a 5. I believe we're using 5, 4, and 3. So, 5 for the bottom here. Next up, this whole box has to come off here, so we got to figure that out. That's going to be exciting. And it might be actually pretty easy. It might just be those 3 screws holding it down. I don't see anything else holding it down, so it could just be those 3 screws. Suppose we can take this directly to it here. See if we can just get this off real easily. Carb should be underneath it. So we'll back this out. There's that. Should be one more. Air filter, I would assume, should be underneath this. Not knowing this bike, but I would assume the air filter would be down here. Oh, look at that, air filter. Okay, so, not sure if that was 100% necessary, but I do see some 8mm bolts in there. But doesn't it seem to be too much holding this on here? This is interesting. I like that air filter though. That's the nice. Set that right there. Alright, so I gotta get below this to see what's going on here. Feels like it just pops off there, but I would think there's more to it than that. Let me grab a flashlight and look at this a little bit, and then we'll come back to it. Now, you guys probably can't see this, but back down here where the intake boot meets the carb, there's a screw here to loosen, and there's another one on the other side. And then after that, I believe this whole head unit, because it's not attached in the front, just pops right off. So you got to loosen that screw that's in between here. You'll see it. There'll be a little O-clamp around the carb intakes, and you got to loosen those. So let me back these out, and I'll show you. It's too hard to show you on cam what's going on just because of how tucked away this is. But alright, that should have done it. Should be able to hook these up straight. Make sure there's no leads connected to this box. Doesn't appear to be. Not feeling anything, so I should just be able to pull up, and this should just pop right off of there. There it is, just like that. And there is a little line attached to the front here, so we'll go ahead and just pop that off. There we go. Look at that, big old mud dauber nest in here. I'm afraid that they might be fresh mud daubers too, so that's got me a little skittish. But it's all good. This is out. I did not need to remove the filter to take this out, but it did give me an opportunity to look at the filter, and I gotta say it actually looks really clean. So I'm just gonna blow that off when I get a chance. So there we go. All that's together, and now we have access to the carbs. Oh, exciting stuff. Yay! Alright, so these are actually in pretty good shape, surprisingly. However, they are very dirty. So these are going to need a really good spray. And I need to make sure there's no mud daubers still in there. So I'm going to knock that nest off of there before we continue. It's too bad there's a huge mud dauber nest in here, but it is what it is. Let me reach in here and make sure this valve is still working good. It is. Cool. While I'm here, I'm going to spray some penetrating oil on that whole valve and spring system all the way on the cables. There we go. Smoother you can make it work, the better. And we can reach down in there, mess that a little bit. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's pop those mud daubers off there. Then we'll have a look at these carbs and see what it's going to take to get them out of there. I'm sure this is going to be a fun fucking job. I'll tell you that right now. Because I need to get to the bottom of these to clean them. So, yay! Fun. Alright, shutting this down for the night. Got everything accomplished I needed to. Got that screw from underneath there. And I think that's good enough to tear down for now. So I've got the carbs covered, and hopefully nothing gets in there. I put the gas cap back on, and yeah, so we need to start this up tomorrow with the choke on, figure out where the excuse me, figure out where the gas is leaking from, because it's dripping down onto here. Now that I've got all this pulled apart, I should be able to tell a lot about what's going on with this bike here, because the fuel is literally dripping down on here. So gas tank's here, it's dripping down on here. I need to figure out if it's coming from the fuel pump. Maybe there's a crack in a fuel line or something. I don't know. Oh, look at that. There's gas on the fuel pump. Okay, well, that's a good indicator as to what's going on here. I can see that so maybe the fuel pump isn't even working. That could be a big part of the problem in itself. This is definitely an aftermarket fuel pump. I can tell you right now, this is aftermarket. Somebody put this on there, and it's garbage, but I can tell it's leaking. There was a whole bunch of gas sitting on this. So we'll start this up tomorrow, and we'll pay close attention to what's going on with this fuel pump, because that would lead me to believe that the fuel pump is not working properly. And if that is the case, which I'm gonna guess it is, that would be a good indicator as to why the front cylinder is not getting fuel and only the rear one is. So, yeah. Luckily, this looks like it's about a $20 part, which is what they did. They bought a cheap $20 one, so if I actually buy one, I'll probably spend a bit more money. I could just tell that this was a cheap installation here. I don't think it was a good installation. So now that I can tell there was raw fuel sitting on here, that would explain why it's dripping onto here. So yeah, but we won't know more until we start it tomorrow, so we'll give it a shot first. I also want to figure out where this line goes to, because this seems a bit interesting. There's just a line just hanging out here that has no place. So I think I need to get the manual out and figure out where this goes, because I don't feel any extra lines that this should be attached to. And this is just hanging out by its lonesome. I feel like there should be something connected to this, because it looks like something connects to this. So I don't think I'm crazy. We'll figure all that out tomorrow. So let's sleep on it, see where we end up. I think it's a good bike. Battery took a full charge, which is definitely a positive. I know it runs. I know that all the gears work, and I know the clutch works. So we're pretty much, 75% of the way complete from having this bike out on the road and seeing what it can do. And yeah, so let's have a look at that fuel pump tomorrow. We'll sleep on it, see where we end up. Welcome back. It is now the next day. I'm gonna pull this out, and we're gonna crank this thing up again and see if we can figure out where the gas is leaking from. I need to find that gas leak before I really continue on further. So we need to build some pressure with the fuel pump, and I think honestly it might just, let me feel this real quick. Yes, there it is, right there. Okay, so as soon as I turned it on, it started to leak right out of here. So I found my culprit. I need to figure out what's going on with this, because that's a no bueno. That's a no bueno. So 10 millimeter on there, break that free. Pop this off there, do the top one next. Lower that fuel pump. Okay, yeah, she's a leaker. And there you go. That would be why. Big, gaping hole. That's why it's not getting proper fuel. So, there we go. That's the whole reason that we inspect these. So I'm not sure the condition of this line, but you know what we're gonna do right now? We're just gonna go ahead and clip this line here off. Back it on off of there. And then we'll cut that line. We'll see if we can stick it back on there. This line probably needs to be replaced, to be honest with you. Oh, come on, don't keep leaking on me. Set that aside. Oh, and one of two ways we can do this. I think honestly for this, I'm just gonna grab my scissors, give this a chop. And yeah, because that dried out real bad. These lines are not in great shape. I'll be curious to see how well it does. So let's grab my big pair of scissors here. So we're losing basically a ton of our fuel pressure right here. It's not able to build proper fuel pressure to actually get it to the carbs. So there might not actually be any real carb issues going on. So pull that back like so. Take my big pair of scissors, we'll cut it off, give it a nice fresh spot to start with, like so. And I'll get rid of that. Throw that on my shelf for the trash here in a little bit. And go ahead and pop that puppy back on there now. There we go. Okay. Now, shouldn't leak anymore. Oh. And we should get proper fuel pressure now. So let's put these back in here. Matter of fact, I think that was up like that. There we go. That's how they had it tucked away. Okay. Come on, get on there. There you go. There's that one. And let's get this one on there now. I thought I was gonna have to buy a new fuel pump, but I don't think that's the case now. I am slightly concerned about how weak these lines are, but you know, we'll give them a shot first. Give them a shot first, see what happens. Right? Right. Now let's see what it does. So, just preloaded the carbs. Yep, should be good. There we go. It's not clicking anymore, so it filled up the carbs. I don't see any leaks anywhere else. We have proper fuel pressure now. Let's crank it over. See what it does. What do you say? This is gonna be really loud, I feel bad. Yeah, okay, so I don't see any gas spitting out of here. Let's crank it up again. So it doesn't want to run without the choke being on, so that's a good sign that the carbs are pretty shitty. However, it's getting better and better as I go here with the startups. It's actually firing on both cylinders when I first go. Oh, decompression cylinder sticking again. Alright. Alright guys, so I'm currently opening up this side so I can get to the decompression cylinder on the back. There's one on the front on that side and one on the back on this side. We're going to spray this one down here a little bit. 8mm wrench takes this off. So we fixed our gas leak problem. Now we're back to decompression valve issues. So we'll pull these out, pop these off if possible. This is going to be fun putting these back on. This is also how you get to your spark plugs, by the way. There's that one. Oh man. I love how they make it so you can't put a socket head in here. Alright, so there's that. Okay, I'll set that down here. Yeah, so clearly we have a sticking cable here. You can see that because that just popped right on out of there. So let's see what it does now. Let's watch that cable when I try to start it. It's interesting it's not settling all the way, so here's what we're gonna do. Well, for now, unfortunately, this decompression cable is bad. It's too hard to pull all the internals have worn out. It takes a lot of pressure to pull this, and that's the one that goes from here over to the back cylinder. So for now, I'm just going to reinstall this, see if we can get it to work, because I want to pull the carbs and obviously clean these. So we're going to pull the carbs down and pop them out and give them a cleaning, get this bike prepped for the new cable. It was 50 bucks for the new cable. I had to order a brand new one, but yeah, see, I should be able to push this back in easily, and I'm not able to. I'm fighting it a lot. Just like any throttle cable, this should be really simple to push in and out, and unfortunately, there's a lot of fight going on with this cable. So I'm going to reinstall it, however, temporarily, just because we need it to continue moving forward. But for now, just going to set it right there and see if we can pop these carbs out. So I think ideally, first thing we're going to do is pop the, this is the inline fuel that goes up and in. So we'll go ahead and pull the clamp off of the inlet here. And if I can get it, come on you. There we go. There we go. Pop that off there, and then take this flat head, see if we can wheels this line off here without breaking it. That would be a plus. Probably has a little pressure under it, but that'll be all right. There we go. We'll just set that line aside. Oh, not much fuel up there, so yeah. Okay, so I can tell these need to be cleaned because obviously there's a bunch of gunk and stuff in here, but ideally I don't want to remove these all the way. I'm going to do what I did with the last Intruder that I had, and we're just going to go ahead and pull the down below here. There's a place for a Phillips head screwdriver, and there's little O clamps that connect it to the intake boot that goes into the cylinders. Okay, there's one on this side that you have to unscrew from over here, and then there's one on the other side. It's too hard to show you guys at an angle, but here's this one right here. I've got it on there, so that's on the intake boot for the carb. And all I'm going to do is try to back this out carefully. Once I get this loose enough, then I can just pull the carb assembly right out. And ideally, what I don't want to do here, I don't want to loosen this too much to the point where it moves, because I want this to stay on the intake boot. So that's loose enough. I'm going to do the same thing to this one on the other side, and I don't want to disconnect any of these lines if possible. So that would be a major plus if we didn't have to disconnect any lines. Now what's interesting here is that this one was completely out, and this one is also loose, which is interesting. That one just popped out as well. So somebody has clearly been inside here before and tampered with all this, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. So this goes down in here like that, and then these should screw all the way up, but clearly somebody has taken these off before and tampered with them, which is fine. Not a totally big deal. So we'll go ahead and just pull these off because they're already off. Somebody clearly had the carb off at some point, so we'll go ahead and pull the throttle forward, roll off the top one. If I can get it, should have enough slack, no? So the way you undo this clamp is you have to come with a Phillips head, go underneath here, and then pull it up like that, and that just pops off of there. So we'll set that aside now. And all right, I can see my synchronizing cable on there. Seems to be working good. So easy enough. That's the choke. When I pull that, that pulls the choke. Synchronizing choke cable. There, looks like it's working good. So yeah, this is fun. Somebody disconnected a vacuum line right here and plugged the vacuum line. That's always a good sign. Oh gosh, the things people do. All right, well, let's loosen this other one here, which is right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Whoops, wow, that throttle was loose. Jeez, man, I wonder what else is loose on here. Crazy. Anyways, let's loosen that one screw back here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's for the intake boot. There we go. Got it loose. Remember not to put too much pressure. Ooh, that's what I didn't want to do. That's all right. I can slide it around by hand. All right, so loose enough. I should be able to grab the carbs now and pull these up because I need to get to the bottom of these. That's what needs to happen. So I'd like to fully take them out if possible. There we go. So I think I'm probably going to disconnect the choke line here. If I can get that off of there, let me angle this up. See what it's going to take to remove the choke cable. So let's get these off now because these are up. Should be able to. So I want to put one on the bottom and one on the top so I know which way these go. Come on. There we go. So that's the one on the bottom. That's the one on the top. I don't want these to fall into each other. Let me just slide this one through there so I know. There we go, and that one can hang out down there so we know which one's bottom, which one's top. All right, so got that out. Now we just need to figure out how we're gonna take this off of there. All right, well, after a little playing around, I got it to where I want it, and carbs are out. So took a little finagling, but we're good to go. So I'm curious now where this lead line is, because that's falling apart. I do want to know where that goes. Interesting. Oh my goodness. What is this bike missing? What is this bike missing? Anyways, that was twisted down, which obviously is not where that goes. So I got my work cut out for me. Okay, I'll go get a rag. Goddamn thing wants to drip all over the place. There, leak away. Have fun. Leak it up. Don't care. All right. Let's have a look. Oh, we're gonna be that type of individual, huh? You can see somebody marred that one up, so somebody's tried to get into these before. But proper tool for a proper job. Let's go. I can already see these are gonna strip if I don't do this how it should be done the first time around. So proper tool, proper job. Let's see which head works the best. Get the old impact driver out, because clearly somebody tried to clean these once before and they couldn't gain access. I can tell because slightly stripped. So is that going to be a good head? Looks like that'll do the job. Okay, I'm ready. Now, make sure this is set correctly. This goes down and reverse. Yep. Forward, down, reverse. Okay. Let's start with the stripped one that they did. We'll give that a whack, guarantee it loosens. Loose. Loose. Hold up now. There we go. I'll make sure it was still set for reverse and not forward. Loose. 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 This one was, yeah, this one's stripping out, so. Damn it. Keep hitting that stupid thing. There we go. Loose. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the proper tool to do the job so you don't strip the screws out. Let's have a look inside here. See what's going on. Let's see how bad the inside of these are. Yeah, there's a lot of dirt and grime in there, that's for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and assume the needle valves are probably that one to that side. Yep, bunch of gunk in there. So you know if there's that much gunk in there on both of these, that let's just put those over there for now. They need to be cleaned. Floats are obviously working. Needles are down here. I don't see too much ethanol damage, but I want to pull these out and have a look inside here and see what's going on with the jets. So let me grab my screwdrivers and have a look at this here. I want to also see what this takes. I think this is just pin operated. It is, so I can just push that pin out and these should both just come out. Okay. All right, let's pull these out, see what they look like. Let us see what they look like. Plenty of fuel getting to that one, I'll tell you that right now. That one's not gummed up at all. These are big adjustments, by the way. That one's gummed up. That one's definitely gummed up. All right. Let's check this guy here. That one looks good. This one's got a small hole in it. Perfect. I see the size of the hole it should be. So this one's good. This one, however, is very clogged up. This one I can't see through or blow through at all. Oh, this one's gonna have to be cleaned. And we need to check the needle seats next. So we'll do that. Give these a good cleaning. Give them a good solid cleaning here. I do want to check the top here. See what the vacuum seats look like on both sides. So we'll do that. Grab my electric screwdriver here. Speed up the case, speed up the thing. Okay. Okay, We got a little seat damage going on here on this one. This one shrank a bit. This one shrank a bit. Let's see if this one's just as bad. Nope, that one's still in good shape. Well, well, interesting. Interesting. So that one's in bad shape there. However, it might be fixable. I think when somebody reseated these, they just didn't do a very good job. Yeah, that's how that should have been. That's how that should have been, was like that. Clearly, somebody went a little crazy. I'll add a little heat to this and see if we can get it to stick. Might even put a dab of super glue on it, but for now, we'll just pull it out because I need to see the needles. So, set that one aside there. Pull that one out. Looks good. Set that one aside there. So now we just need to do a lot of cleaning. That's where we're at with this. Lots of cleaning. Alright, I gotta run down to the store, grab some carb cleaner and some starter fluid, just because those are the two things I need. And if they have WD-40, I'll probably pick some of that up too, because I'm almost out of WD. So yeah, let's take the new truck down. It's a hot one today, man. I thought it was gonna cool off. It is not. It is a hot one today. So let's go ahead and head down to the store. I was giving this a chance to warm up, wait for my oil pressure to come down a little bit, all that good stuff. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in a minute. There. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Good with that. What's up, man? You ready?
I'm always ready.
Always ready. I like it.
Always.
Man of action.
Man of action.
What's up, Laz? It's been a minute. That means I don't have a
nickel. You paying cash?
no.
No. I just asked. What? Remember that first?
Oh. Ooh, wow. Is that in a rut? Oh, that's why. I was like, God damn, that tire looks really bent over. Okay. I got new rubber to put down on my floors. I'll show you guys, because that looks ugly, and I think it's solvable. So, I also got to redo my headliner again, because this thing, so lovely. It's alright. She's just a work truck, man. She does her job. She's got one job. Pick up stuff, air conditioning works, point A to point B. That's all we need to know. That's all we need to know. Alright, let's go. Where are you going, buddy? Alright, works for me. Okay, I got pretty much everything I need to keep going on this job. Minus the, obviously minus the decompression cable for the rear. I gotta wait for that, so I'm only about $70 in on this repair so far to get this bike hopefully up and working. It looks like the internals of the carb are in great shape, which is good for me because that means I don't have to rebuild the carbs. However, one of those vacuum sleeves look a little worn out, but I'll see if I can maybe add a little heat and give it some stretching. I think we might be able to solve that. Yeah.